Geno Auriemma and Dawn Staley look to overtake Caitlin Clark-Angel Reese in NCAA's latest era. As the collegiate women's basketball season approaches, the spotlight is on two iconic coaches, Geno Auriemma of UConn and Dawn Staley of South Carolina, as they prepare to usher in a new era following the departures of superstars Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. With just weeks before the season tips off, fans and pundits alike are wondering how these legendary coaches will navigate this transition while still keeping their programs at the top. In a recent episode of The Elle Duncan Show, host Elle Duncan emphasized that despite the absence of Clark and Reese, this season's narrative will be just as compelling, largely because of figures like Auriemma and Staley. "You know, never sleep on Dawn Staley," Duncan remarked. "There's no concern that just because Angel and Caitlin are no longer in college, the enthusiasm will wane. It is storylines aplenty." For Geno Auriemma, head coach of the Huskies, this season could be a defining one. He's on the verge of breaking Tara Vanderveer's record for most wins in Division I basketball history, solidifying his legendary status. As Duncan noted, many believe this might be his last year in Connecticut. Adding to the anticipation is the return of Paige Bueckers for her fifth year, after missing much of her previous seasons due to injury. With a healthy Bueckers and Adzi Fudd, UConn is ready to bounce back from last year's setbacks. Auriemma, with 23 Final Four appearances and 11 national titles, is chasing one more championship, potentially capping off his storied career. Meanwhile, Dawn Staley continues to cement her own legacy at South Carolina. The 2024 AP Coach of the Year has turned the Gamecocks into a powerhouse, consistently contending for national titles. Duncan summed it up perfectly. Never sleep on Dawn Staley. Certainly, Staley's Gamecocks are set to be a dominant force once again, despite having lost one of their key defensive presence, Camila Cardoso. Still, there's a lot that this NCAA season will bring with it itself. A new era, but the rivalry remains. As much as this season marks the beginning of a new wake for the NCAA, the rivalry between UConn and South Carolina remains strong. Both Auriemma and Staley have been at the helm of their respective programs for years, leading their teams through memorable Final Four matchups and thrilling national championship games. The challenge now will be maintaining that competitive fire with a fresh crop of players who are eager to make their mark. Although the previous draft class left an indelible impact on college basketball, the focus now shifts to the next wave of stars, like Juju Watkins. The guard, who set freshman scoring records last season, is already being projected to possibly surpass Clark's scoring achievements in the coming years. "Absolutely," Duncan said